LQ Biz News, your daily dose of Chinese entertainment and celebrity buzz. Love doesn't just endure here, it negotiates, strategizes, and writes its own law under a sky that won't stop throwing thunderbolts. The new teaser opens on full-out, demonic miasma and knife-edge chill north Guiyuan Valley, and the pain that should end with Liao Tingyan boomerangs through the heart bracelet to Sima Jiao. It's a smart device, romance literalized as a conduit. Every shock she takes ripples through him, and the show invites us to read Indria's intimacy, a bond that refuses to let suffering stay solitary. Then the trap snaps shut. Yinglu and his cronies spring their scheme at the Guiyuan Coffin, squeezing the cold scale power out of Tingan until it stops being a shield and becomes a blade. Sima Jiao arrives like a storm front, cuts down the architect of this cruelty, and still loses the one thing he was trying to protect. Under the surge of ancient frost, Tingan strikes him. It's the kind of twist Xianxia thrives on, cosmic, operatic, yet devastatingly personal. The camera doesn't flinch away from the tragedy of a hand guided by a force the mind can't command. What follows is audacious even by this show's standards. Tingan kills the reigning demon king and claims the mantle herself, a coronation scored not to triumph but to dread. The crown feels like a chain. Clarity returns in the cold wake of power, and the cost lands. She has cut down her own husband. The preview's pace quickens. Tingan storms the Shi family's sacred grounds to retrieve Sima Jiao's life, and the couple reunites in the most Xianxia way possible, ripping heavenly lightning apart with their bare hands. It's wild, a little camp, and absolutely glorious. Where earlier episodes flirted with romance's cultivation, this montage commits. Their trust is a technique, their partnership a spell. But the real subversion is quieter. Rumors of a marriage alliance could have flattened into the usual politics, a bride bargained, voter soothed. Instead, Tingan stands her ground and proposes to Sima Jiao herself. She reframes heqin from transaction to declaration. If there must be a treaty, let it be authored by the people who will keep it. The union, she announces, Immortal and Demon, reads like both diplomatic gambit and emotional thesis. The show isn't saying love ignores the world, it's saying love re-architects it. Performance-wise, Chen calibrates Sima Jiao as a man built for catastrophe who never stops choosing gentleness. Even in chaos, there's a discipline to how he reaches for Tingan, a choreography of care that sells the we before the magic does. Wang Yinglu carries the sharper load here, toggling between possession, coronation, and remorse without losing the core that made Tingan compelling in the first place, clear-eyed courage and a stubborn refusal to moralize her own survival. Together they make the Jiao-Yan pairing feel earned, not engineered, and the lightning-ripping set-piece lands because the smaller beats, the glances, the breath held a half-second too long, have already done the work. Craft notes, the teaser leans hard on elemental imagery, frost cracks, black violet thunder, the metallic thrum of a coffin prison, and the sound design sells scale without drowning the actors. Wardrobe tracks Tingan's arc from wonder to sovereign in textures alone. Softer fabrics give way to structured armor work, then soften again as her agency returns. The fight design keeps the bodies readable, even when the VFX crescendo. We can see how a decision becomes a movement becomes a myth. Thematically, this 2-episode tease draws a clean line through the season's preoccupations. Memory can be mangled, bodies can be repurposed, vows can be weaponized. What holds is choice. Tingan's proposal is the antidote to every scene where fate tried to draft their script. Sima Jiao's steadfastness was the counter-argument to destiny's bullying. And the alliance they sketch isn't just geopolitics, it's a statement about shared weather. If one realm freezes, the other refuses to pretend it's warm. If you're here for pretty angst, you'll get it. If you're here for plot momentum, you'll get that too. But the hook that lingers is simpler. When the world insists on turning love into collateral, these two keep paying with resolve instead of tears. Episodes 27-28 look set to prove, again, that this show's most powerful special effect is consent, stated, restated, and hammered into the heavens until even the thunder listens. Thanks for watching LQ Biz News. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for your daily fix of Chinese entertainment. See you in the next video.